Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome to Shank and T. Kev here, where we talk football like Coach Prime talks his life. Bold, real talk, unfiltered. We're diving into Colorado Buffalo's action in the NFL draft. So make sure y'all hit that like button, comment, subscribe. I'm ready to talk. How everybody feeling? How everybody feeling? Hope everybody's doing good. Pull up my Twitter, my X, my bad, just in case I get any more updates. But yeah, like I said, hope everybody's blessed, feeling good. We're just gonna go ahead and get right into it though. As I said in my last live and many other lives ago, there's a lot surrounding sports. There's a lot surrounding football, especially college football. That's why I like college football better than NFL. But as we know, Shedeur just got drafted to the Browns, the 144th pick in the NFL draft, along with many other players from Colorado as well. But as we know, Shedeur was a hot topic in this year's past draft. So, um, I share my 2 cents on what I think as far as why he got drafted that late and just my opinions on the whole process. Um, okay, now let's talk about after that. Now, how does that affect Colorado in the long run? How is that going to affect Shedeur in the long run? And his draft stock and things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and get into it though. But I appreciate everybody for joining in. If you're new, joining my live, please make sure you shout this live on my channel as well. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in thus far. But all right, so Shedeur going to the Browns. Not the best team at all by no means. They are pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie. In the past couple of years, but looks like the Browns ended up giving him a shot, ended up giving him a chance after all these things that kind of took place and transpired during the course of the draft or whatever. And my whole theory is that I hope that he can definitely make an impact in the league. Like I'm wishing the best for him in the league, along with many other players that's gotten either signed or drafted into the NFL or even got invited to a football camp. Um, Now he's going to have some people in front of him as of right now. Dylan Gabriel also got drafted to the Browns, as well as Joe Flacco stood there, and Kenny Pickett is still there. I'm not sure if the Browns is going to keep him around or what they're going to do with that. I haven't heard anything like fully on that, but Shedeur is definitely going to have to work. Do I think that he'll be successful in the NFL though if he does work? Oh yeah, for sure. Um, do I think he's a great quarterback? I believe he's a good quarterback who's going to become into a great quarterback. He's still learning. He's still growing. He still has some tendencies about himself that college recruits are not going to want, or even if he was still at the college level, that some college coaches probably will want to sharpen up as a whole. So, he's not a bad quarterback, but definitely going to have to come with a chip on his shoulder too because of what took place in his year's draft as far as him projected to be drafted in the first round and him deciding, well, the teams deciding to take him in the fifth round instead. Like, that's just total disrespect, especially with the stats that he had this previous season. It's like, whoa, like what you got going on? But I'm sure everybody wants to know. So I'm sure y'all heard and y'all people have talked y'all heads off as far as Shedeur and him being drafted. So we know he went to the Browns, right? And I just talked about what he needs to do in order for him to be successful in the league. I feel like the Browns is not a bad team for him because he's kind of used to being put in different situations that aren't typically the best. Like if you look at Trinity High School, if you look at Jackson State, if you look at Colorado, like he's kind of used to being put in certain situations and predicaments where they're not the best. Like they're kind of it has potential with the right people though, with the right weapons. So, um, now everybody if you're a Colorado Buffaloes fan, football fan who are following Colorado, we know that recruiting in this second window of the portal is a little slow. All right, definitely a little slow. And I seen and heard a lot of things, and even thought that in my head that is Shedeur being drafted so late in the 5th round, is that going to take a toll on Colorado's recruiting staff? And as I just said, like, it's real slow. Like, I want to talk about what visits we have later on and commits or anything like that, any news on top of that. But they really only committed 5 people in this transfer portal window. I thought they was going to commit like 20 plus this wave. But in the back of my mind, I feel like Colorado has a shot. And I say that because look at players like Travis Hunter and Shedeur, even though he went 5th round, and Jimmy Horn and LaJohntay Wester and Cam and BJ and so on and so on and so on. These dudes, they're in the league or fighting for a spot in the league. So it's not like nobody from Colorado didn't get drafted. In fact, Colorado had one of the most receiving core players that got drafted into the NFL. Right? Okay. You know, I also heard the question that, what if a player is thinking in their mind that if I go to Colorado, am I going to get taken later in the rounds and rounds because my coach is Shedeur Sanders? Like, that's what a lot of players possibly could be thinking. I don't know if that's exactly what they're thinking, but I've been seeing a lot of comments in the comment sections, and that's just something to think about as well. So I know everybody named Mom mad at Corey Phillips. He's one of the recruiting staff heads. So he, evidently makes some of the calls when it comes to bringing recruits in and reaching out to them, whatnot. And everybody's been mad at him. Like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, you fumbling the bag. Like, Prom said he wanted this, and that. And we only brought in this. And everybody mad because, like, why are we still recruiting wide receivers and stuff like that? I get it. Like, and when I speak, I put myself in both predicaments and both sides of the shoes as well. Like, I don't want to just look at it from me being a fan and me being biased, viewpoint. So, do I feel like we still need pieces? Yes. Do I feel like we have a lot of wide receivers in the wide receiver room? Yes. Now, Prime specifically said he wanted a grown man wide receiver. That was his words. All right. If he said if he's going to get one more wide receiver, it's going to be a grown man wide receiver. Now, let's talk about this recruit real fast since I'm on the topic. So I'm sure y'all just know they just committed. Well, they didn't just commit, but Florida State transfer wide receiver Hakeem Williams has committed to the Colorado Buffaloes. He's 6'2", 215. Was number 4 wide receiver in 2023 class and has 2 years of eligibility remaining. So, good size, no diddy, whatever. Whether or not he's going to come in and contribute and make a huge impact, I'm not sure. I watched some of his highlights. I didn't watch, per se, his film. I just watched some of the good highlights. So I can't really break down and see a lot of his tendencies just yet. I am going to do that, though, so that I can kind of speak a little bit more to him. I really didn't think that he was going to commit to Colorado. I'm not even going to lie. I thought Syracuse was going to take him, or he was going to choose Syracuse. I had my faith in that wide receiver from BYU, Keelan, I forgot his last name. But looks like he's going to be the one that they're going to bring in as an addition as that big man wide receiver for the Colorado Buffaloes. So I hope he can come in and make a hit, impact. I'm not going to bash him or I'm not going to hype him up too much. Say, oh yeah, he's a dog. I'm not one of those type of dudes. Like, you kind of got to show me, like, how are you going to fit into the different scheme of things coming into this year at Colorado? Because things are going to be totally different. Things are going to be totally different. Um, but and back to my point when I was talking about just recruiting as well, and whether or not it's going to hurt recruiting for Colorado. So I don't know if you guys seen or not. Shedeur literally made more in college than what he's about to make in the NFL. And Shedeur doesn't necessarily need the money. Now, I don't know what this man's pockets, but look at his lifestyle. Shedeur doesn't technically need the money, but his draft stock did drop. So some athletes are going to be thinking like, yo, like, even if I am a top athlete, am I going to get drafted? Am I going to get drafted in the higher rounds because my coach is Dion? But you guys got to ask yourself too. Travis Hunter, he got drafted the number 2 pick. He went to Colorado. Like, it's possible. I think it just went differently for him because of who he is and who he is to Dion as well. So it kind of went a little bit different. And we knew Jimmy Horn and LaJohntay Wester was going to get picked in the later rounds. I knew they're going to get drafted, though, for sure. But I knew they weren't going to get drafted first round or like that. But to answer everybody's question, I do think it's going to have somewhat of an impact. I honestly think that Prime is going to approach things a little bit different. Prime is going to be Prime regardless at the end of the day. He's going to talk how he talks, but I think he's going to be a little bit more mindful in how he says things. And his sons is not there anymore, so he can kind of be more of a coach, right? When Shedeur and Shiloh and Travis was there, he was like a dad. He had dad mode, and he had, he had coach mode. So I feel like now there's a separation now. He can kind of separate the two. He's not all in Shedeur's business and decisions. He's not all in Shiloh's business and decisions as well. In fact, I didn't even notice that Dion was Shiloh's agent. I never knew that. I actually just found that out when Shiloh decided that he was going to release his dad as his agent, which is smart in my opinion. Like, I get it, that's your dad, the best DB to ever do it, cool. But you have to have that separation because of what's going on, and it's not working out the best as far as how can I say it? Like, teams are not really wanting to deal with him because of who his dad is, unfortunately. Like, it's crazy to say, but that's what's transpiring right now. And what Shiloh did as far as separating himself, I feel like that was kind of smart in a sense to kind of do that. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out further. But let's talk about some of the commits that Colorado did end up landing, or visits, I should say. Hold up. Before I even get into that, this little update. So Flapjack, Zachariah Owens, as y'all don't know, as many of you may know, he ended up committing to Mississippi State. Not really a surprise. Phil Loneholt was over there, so he probably hit him up when he hit the portal or before the portal and say, hey, I got a spot for you. I told you I was going to help you develop. Come over here. Like, we've been doing this from start. Might as well finish it with me. So that's probably the conversation they had, and I'm sure they probably offered him a little bit more money to kind of move too. So best of luck to him, though. I wish he would have stayed at Colorado. Was not expecting that, but he out of here. Next, so Demata Pecco, his son committed to Colorado. I believe it was yesterday he committed. Yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday he committed to Colorado. So I'm excited. I knew that he was taking visits to Colorado. I was pretty confident he was going to commit. I mean, his dad is there. Why not go with your pop? So best of luck to him, though. I'm definitely going to keep a lookout for him, rooting for you, my Samoan brother. So next, we know that he came on a visit. This is Colorado. He was hosting Incurred Ward, running back. So yeah, he's a running back. DeKalon Taylor. I don't know if he's going to stay at Colorado. if he's going to commit. I haven't heard anything on him yet. He's 5'9", 166. A little light, but he could probably be like a little bit more of a speed back. He did have a good year at his previous school. Let me actually look up his stats real quick. Look up his stats so I can see his numbers. Hey, I appreciate everybody for joining too. Let me see what we got. We got DK Taylor. Yeah, so we always talked about having 1,000-yard running back. He's pretty close to 1,000-yard running back. Obviously, different conference, different levels of football. For 152 carries, he rushed for 909 yards for 9 TDs, and he averages just 6 yards per carry. So not bad at all. I want to see how that's going to translate to more of a advanced conference, you could say. But I'm not going to doubt him at all. I'm not one who's really big on size too much. We could definitely use him as like a speedy back. He looks like he's pretty fast from what I've seen in his highlights. So, and Marshall Faulk is his coach. So I feel like they're going to develop him up well. And there are some running backs out there that I wish they could have went after. And then I'm kind of salty that they didn't go after, which kind of made me scratch my head. Let's look at some other running backs that's in the portal right now that they can go after as well. So, Mel Brown, I'm so mad we got rid of Brandon Hood, y'all. I'm still salty about that. I ain't gonna lie to you. That caught me off guard. Him and Cole Hood was actually one of my favorites on the team. That hurt my heart. I said this year transfer portal hurt my. It put me down bad. Mel Brown, Savion Red was one that I really liked. From Nevada, 5'10", 210. He's a senior, so if he came into Colorado, it would be his last season. So I'm sure he want to go somewhere where he can kind of really ball out. But I like Savion Red. I don't know if Colorado reached out to him or not. I doubt it. I haven't heard anything about that, but they could have. Who knows? But he's somebody to look at. Let's move on, though. Let's move on to a fan favorite before the fan favorite even commits. So, my guy, so that we said that we needed some linebackers as well. So, Harrison Taggart from BYU. Y'all know who he is. Watch some of my other videos. But, dog. I told y'all I never call nobody a dog unless they really a dog, but he's a dog. He's really good. Hopefully Colorado can land him. As you can see, he's on an official visit to Colorado. I thought that him and his teammate, the wide receiver, I'm having a brain fire. I'm forgetting his wide receiver friend's name that went to the school with him. I thought they were going to come as like a package deal, but I don't think that's happening anymore. It could. Who knows? I doubt it since we just got that other wide receiver that just committed. But hopefully we can land them at Colorado. Really need them. I do have faith in the current linebackers we have now, but I feel like we need some more day one veterans that's going to come in and really contribute on a whole another level. And I feel like he's going to be able to do that. Like he's like that. So I don't know when he's going to make it. I believe he's going to make a visit sometime this week. So be on the lookout for that, for him to commit. This is another one. He came in on a visit. John Slaughter, he's a safety. We know that we wanted to bring in a couple of DBs, safeties. He's really good. So every single time a player hits the portal, I always look at what their fans say about the player. If a player never contribute or nobody knows who they are, the fans at the previous school are going to let you know. We don't even know who that was, or he sucked anyway. Good. I'm glad he left. But I looked at some of the comments before he left, hit the portal, and everybody seemed like they was butthurt at Tennessee. So I didn't get a chance to watch film on him yet, but like a lot of fans, were definitely going to miss him. So I hope we can land him. He went on a visit. Colorado started off as having a high percentage that if you came to Colorado to come visit, that you was definitely going to commit. Now, that ain't really been the case lately. Like, all these dudes that's been coming lately, ain't none of them been committing, like, at all. I've been like, what are y'all telling them? Like, don't commit here. What if you only going to pay you $50,000 a year? Like, what's really going on? But it's not for me to really be concerned about. I'm a fan, but I mean, I'm not really behind closed doors. Like, I always say, this game has changed. Like, NIL definitely changed the game with everything. So I can't really just sit here and say that it's just a money thing. It could be a location thing. It could be a convenience thing. It could be a opportunity thing. Like, I don't know if any of y'all play football at this viewing, but I do know that, when you go to different levels and different schools and you have certain players that's already established in the program at certain positions, they'll try to move you around to different positions, and you might not be comfortable with playing this certain position. Like, look at Trevor Woods. He started off as safety. They said, no, bro, we want to make you the next Brian Urlacher. We're going to move you to linebacker. He didn't like that. So it's just little things like that could also be a factor as well. And I'm not making no excuses, like, to be blunt. Or the other reason could be that we're falling off of recruiting as well. So there's so many different factors that's taking place, and I want Colorado to bring in more people now, so that they have some time to establish a brotherhood, a chemistry, work out with each other, just a team joint thing, instead of just waiting until it get closer to the fall and everybody's there. Like, I wanted to be established early on so that we can have that chemistry built as the years go on. I feel like chemistry and culture is really the thing that sets the foundation of things for them to be successful in the long run and for it to actually last. Is what I'm saying making sense to y'all, though? Like, do y'all understand where I'm coming from? Let's refresh my X, though. Y'all know X be popping. X be popping. So let me see if I got any more updates as far as any visits or commits. No, Hakeem Williams. That's really it as far as any commits to Colorado or visits to Colorado. So far, Colorado has, I got it right here in my notes. I'll let y'all know how many Colorado has thus far. Hey, I appreciate everybody more for joining. So I think I deleted my note. Anyway, I'm coming off the dome. So, Terrence Love, the safety. We have Xavier Hill, offensive guard / offensive tackle. He can play both. You have Hakeem Williams now, wide receiver. You have Tion Parks, DB. And you have who am I forgetting, y'all? Who am I forgetting? One more player. Help me out. I just named 4. We just made 5 today. Oh, and Sincere Brown. Here we go. So good Jones. Right? We still need to get some more defensive tackles still. We still need some help in the offensive line. For crying out loud, we need some more offensive line help. Still. Like, I'm confident in Jordan Seaton. I'm confident in Zy Chrysler from what I've seen and heard about him thus far. I don't know how that's going to translate into the games. I do know how Jordan Seaton plays, so I'm very confident in him. I'm confident in Zy Chrysler still, though, from what I can hear, heard about him. I wish Zach was still here, but he's not, so it doesn't matter. Xavier Hill, veteran, watched him play. He's good. So I'm very, very confident in him. Other than that, I got nothing. Now, I heard Yo-Yo has been taking some snaps at center, as y'all know. Yo-Yo has been taking some snaps. I don't think they're going to settle with him at center yet. I think he's still learning everything. You know, he came from a different country, so he's still learning a whole lot. Yo-Yo's good. He has the size, but you know, how are we going to put all those puzzle pieces together for him to be successful? Because I feel like Yo-Yo could really, really be something. But anyway, Yo-Yo, like I said, um, and then uh, I think that's really, really about it as far as people that's proven. But we got to bring in some more offensive line. If we don't bring in nothing else, we got to bring in some more offensive line and running backs because we're not going to be able to effectively run the ball if we cannot block once again. That's non-negotiable. Like Caden Salter can run, yes. Juju Lewis can run, yes. They can pass. They're very, very much accurate. With still some room to grow. But we got to be able to run the ball effectively. So we're going to need those pieces. We're going to need those extra running backs. I'm not talking about no basic right now. We can't keep bringing in basic individuals that's and expect, you know, us to just blow up out of nowhere. Now, I believe in that the coach plays a huge role in the development of a player, which is true. But veterans too, like, do we really, really have time to build? Are they really, really still in the rebuilding phase? Or are they trying to go out there and dominate and make it to the playoffs this year? Got to ask yourself those type of questions too. So, I don't know. I hope we can land a running back. We really, really need a running back. 2 running backs now, or 3. Is it 2 or 3? Because when Isaiah Augusta hit the portal, we needed 2 because Prime was already going to get another additional running back had Brandon Hood and Isaiah Augusta not hit the portal. He was already going to get 1 more running back. Now, when Isaiah Augusta hit the portal and when Brandon Hood hit the portal, so are they going to go get 3 now to replace those? And what running backs? I just named you a couple. I'm surprised they didn't go after Chamar Brown from NDSU. Or, like I said earlier, I like Savion Red. You know what I mean? There's players like that. Like, they're out there waiting to find schools. Are we reaching out to them? Are they reaching out to us? Like, what are we doing as an organization to actually bring them in? All right, I think we back. Let me know in the chat. Could y'all hear me still? I was having some technical difficulties. Let me know if y'all could, still hear me when I was going through all that. But anyway, like I said, we need running backs still. As far as offensive guards, look at some offensive guards who you still got in the portal. And I get a lot of my opinions and things of that nature from actual film that I watch, word of mouth, and then I really like Buffed and Prime too, as far as what they break down on Bips list. So shout out to them with that as well. Son of Yahweh. Okay, bet. Appreciate you. TJ Ferguson, he's still in the portal right now. I'm not sure if he reached out to any schools. Matthias Ayu, he's still in the portal right now as well from UNLV. Where's that Penn State boy I looked at one time? I really liked him. I don't think he's in the portal anymore, unfortunately. I think somebody grabbed him. Somebody grabbed him, I think. But yeah, it's still players out there that okay, gotcha. It's still players out there that need to be grabbed um, to contribute to this Colorado football team. And I always say I want Colorado to have a good season, right? A great season. And I don't want them to just win games. I want them to dominate. I will feel much better in my soul and my spirit if they was to dominate the teams that's in their conference, because when they get to the playoffs, if and when they get to the playoffs, matter of fact, I'm speaking to existence. When they get to the playoffs, the competition is going to be harder. It's going to be a different type of competition. They're gonna play in bigger stadiums. That's a factor. We've seen how that went last season with Nebraska. Like that ain't no cake. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, how are we preparing our team? Okay, we have the coaches. We have the NFL experience. Cool. We don't need no more. Like we have one gold jacket is enough, and that's your head coach. And then you bring in Warren Sapp, and then Marshall Falk. Come on, you have the tools. Like it's literally laid out for you, right? Now, this is a question I had to myself the other day, and let me know what y'all think. Do y'all feel like as the season goes on, the players on purpose decrease in how much effort they put in, or their play style in their game because of any like money issues? And what I mean by that, do you feel like, I'm trying to break this down so it actually makes sense. Like, do y'all feel like as the season goes on, they don't feel like the season is going the way they really, really want to, and now money is a factor as well. So kind of it's like they lose the motivation. Like they're not really in it to win it anymore. Like, do you feel like that happens sometimes as the season goes on with some of these, not even just Colorado, but just programs in general? Let me know what y'all think about that, if that makes sense. I don't know, y'all. I do know that crunch time, the way these months are flying by now, these months are like seconds. Before you know it, it's going to be fall again. And our first game is going to be our biggest test. Georgia Tech is not sweet at all whatsoever. Georgia Tech got a good football program. For the past couple of years, Georgia Tech is pretty decent. Like, they're not just no pushovers. Delaware, I lived in Delaware before. I lived a car shoot from the stadium. Delaware really got athletes, low-key athletes. I promise y'all, they got low-key athletes. Y'all just don't really hear much about them. Don't sleep on Delaware when they play them this year. I promise you, don't sleep on Delaware. Kansas State gonna try to, that's kind of like their rival now. You know how that goes. Who else they got on their schedule? that I would be worried about a little bit. I say anybody, because even if we would just say, yeah, Wyoming's going to be a easy game, we can say that, but we don't know how they got developed. We don't know what pieces they brought in that can really have shaped and changed their program. And now we sleeping on them. We going out there thinking it's sweet when it really is not. Colorado thought they was going to beat Nebraska last season. Smoked. Colorado thought they was going to be Kansas last season. They shut it down. People, everybody in mom thought that they were going to beat BYU last season in the Alamo Bowl. Nope. Smoked. He said, well, if you're not making a title championship run, you don't play as hard anymore. Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Like, yeah, that's true. And I could definitely say that I seen that in the bowl game last season. It looked like nobody was playing their hardest at all. Like, the competition level on Colorado's side was terrible. That was probably one of the worst games I ever watched. I was so excited to watch that game. I'm like, man, dang, like, I don't want these players to leave. That's their last game. You know what I mean? Like, it's the last time I'm see Travis and Shedeur and LaJohntay Wester and Will Shepherd and Jimmy Horn and everybody together. Shiloh, they came out there, got skunked. I'm like, what? They put something in their water? Like, what is going on? But they just probably didn't really care anymore. Like, it's kind of like, it's my last game. I'm focused on going to the league now. Like, what's next? Well, I'm hitting the portal anyway. Like, what's next? So, little stuff like that. Which makes me think. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, we can hear something shake up in these next couple of days when it comes to this recruiting process. Because, man, Corey Phillips, if any of the recruiting staff sees this video, we need y'all. We need y'all. I don't need my blood pressure going up this season. Y'all should hear me in the house when the games be on. Like, I'll be walking outside after the games come on. They be like, Dad, bro, we thought you was outside yelling. I'll be like, nah, I'll just be in here. Like, I just love football. Always have loved football. Always been a Deion Sanders fan myself. And I want to see them win. It's not a jump on the bandwagon type of situation where Deion Sanders or Colorado is a big name. It's kind of like they're the underdogs in my eyes in a sense, and I kind of want to see them grow. That's why I like Norfolk State. I want to see how they're going to do this season, and even DSU. I want to see how they're going to do this season as well. So I like football, right? And we'll see, though. I'm not going to speak too much on it, though, and say we're going to be anything. I'm scared to even give a season prediction as to what their record is going to be. I know I gave one. I probably shouldn't have, but I'm scared because I don't want to jump the gun. I thought that they would have been a little bit further in the recruiting process by now, and that's why I felt a little bit more confident. But Corey Phillips and them, they got to have something up their sleeves or pranking us or something because it's getting a little scary. He said CU looked like they were already ready to go home. They didn't want to play BYU. It wasn't for the Big 12 championship. Yeah. And that's another thing. Yeah, they promised us Peggy that, they were going to go to the bowl game. But I really think they wanted to go to that championship, that Big 12 championship to compete, especially with it being Travis and Shedeur and Shiloh's last season. I think they want to kind of really go out with a bang on that note. But it is what it is. This is in the past now. So how do you move forward? So, but if I get any more updates as far as any commits, visits, matter of fact, before I get off of here, I told y'all the way that this transfer portal stuff is set up, and the recruiting process is set up. Every second counts. So let me make sure that nothing else popped up before I get off of here. And I appreciate everybody for joining. If you are new to my channel, please, 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 please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. And let me know what you think about my channel as well. Obviously keep it respectful and things of that nature. But started YouTube probably about, I don't know, 7-8 months ago, and I've been trying to grind and thrive ever since. So definitely trying to build my platform up for you guys and get the information out as fast as I possibly can, with keeping y'all engaged and things of that matter as well. So, but no updated information. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. Hope everybody has a blessed rest of their day. If I'm able to get back on live today, I will do that. I sub already. Hey, appreciate you. I actually just seen that. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. If I'm able to, I will hop back on live. I've been moving stuff out a lot lately, so it's been kind of a little bit hectic for me, but I would definitely do my best. No excuses. But y'all have a blessed rest of y'all day, like I said. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. We out.